Okay. Hello. I'm back again, that fantasy chick, to talk about all the shows that I've watched this past week. And um, as I just discovered when I was putting together my the string for this week, I have to be careful about things that I say because uh, YouTube red lettered my description because of something I said about Rhaenys, being a bad bee. Um, I got the red letter treatment. So we have to watch what we say. We're being censored. Okay. So, so to start with, of course, my CBS shows, SWAT and Equalizer. I love good action shows. And SWAT was a part two. And I think I talked about last week about how it was ruined. The premiere was ruined because the CBS just started tripping in the middle of like it was like the fourth act, I would say. It was about the fourth act. CBS just started tripping and showed commercials throughout the entire fourth act. Fourth act gone. And thankfully by the fifth act, the final act, they were able to come back and show the rest of the show. But like an entire act of the show was just completely run over with commercials. Like a full 10, 15 minutes of commercials back to back to back to back. So we come back this week and they didn't have any problems. No problems with SWAT. They just did the part two. They were still in Thailand, and Hondo had to have his hero moment where he saves this little boy who saves him. It was a lovely little moment. And it was very interesting watching the team being split between Thailand and Los Angeles, and how they still were able to work together on two different continents, working on the same case, you know, uh, because of how the way the show worked out. Like, the person who Hondo was cornering on Thailand had somebody in Los Angeles kidnapped to try to get away. So the team in Los Angeles had to save the girl in Los Angeles so they can arrest the person in Thailand. And it was all, within seconds. All of this had to happen within seconds of each other. And it's like, how does even the call come in time? But somehow they made it. Somehow they made it. And Hondo had his hero moment and he saved the little boy. So, and then of course the Equalizer. The Equalizer was crazy. It was a show about this woman being gaslit, and nobody believed her. Everybody was telling her she was crazy, that everything that was happening to her was all in her imagination, everything she was imagining, because she believed her dead husband was basically stalking her. She had a stalk, whether it was her dead husband or not. Somebody was doing stuff to her, and but nobody believed it, and nobody took her seriously except Queen Latifah, of course. And come to find out, dead husband was a lie all along. And I'm like, okay, where's the police to give her an apology for not looking into this? Because he was everything she said was true. She smelled his cologne. That was true. She heard footsteps in her house. That was true. Everything that she said happened. So, hi Amber, how are you doing? I'm sitting up here talking about women being gaslit by the police and, you know, not being able to tell them, being, going to them when they have a stalker and just not being taken seriously. Um, that, that of course is very frustrating. But, we all don't have a Queen Latifah in our life to come in and save the day and to discover that it's A, your dead husband really is alive and he really is stalking you, and B, the person who you're actually in danger of is your crazy sister, not the dead husband. The show was crazy, but it was very entertaining. It was very entertaining. So, other than that, I don't know if you got a chance to check. I don't know if you watched She-Hulk, but they had the finale of She-Hulk, which was very interesting. I'm going to say that the show was interesting. They had her whole life blow up from that. Oh, that reminds me of SUV, the show versus how the real life SUV handled the real victims. Yes, on SUV, a lot of times, you know how they have that, SUV, they find crimes against these victims, especially heinous. And then when you go on SUV, they treat the victims horribly. And I'm like, the way you see acting, you're not acting like you find these crimes especially heinous, because you're treating these victims horribly. You don't believe them. You're treating them like, well, you're not a good witness, so we're not going to take your case. That doesn't seem like you find their crime especially heinous to me. Okay. You like Moon Knight? I couldn't get past episode 2 of Moon Knight. I found it dry and boring and uninteresting. And I did like She-Hulk better than Moon Knight. I did. Um I know a lot of people like Oscar Isaac. I know he's their favorite, but I could not get into it. It just wasn't what it didn't grab me. It didn't grab me. I can't. And if Moon Knight is going to be a part of the larger MCU, I'm really going to find it hard to have to go back and watch those episodes just to figure out who he is and how he fits in with the rest of this cinematic universe. No, no, I did not finish Moon Knight. 2 episodes in and I dropped it. I'm like, I can't do this. I could not do this. The two guys fighting with each other within head, and then you had the wife, and then you had Ethan Hawke. It was I don't know. I don't know what about it, but it was like when the show ended, there was nothing in it that made me go, I need to sit here and see what happens next. I didn't care what happened next. I still don't care what happened next. I started watching Moon Knight months ago. Like, if I could drop a show and let months pass without picking it back up, like that's the same with Hawkeye. I started watching Hawkeye weeks ago and I dropped that. I haven't picked that back up. I don't care for Hawkeye. I knew I wasn't going to like Hawkeye, but I decided to give it a chance anyway. Don't care for that. Okay, you skipped Moon Knight too. Yes. Yeah, pretty much. It was entertaining at the time. Yeah, yeah. So I we were the first people with the Moon Knight disrespect. Yes. Yeah, yeah. Moon Knight didn't grab me. But She-Hulk was interesting. Um I like She-Hulk. I like this episode. I like this series. Um, I felt a certain way about this episode. I felt a certain way about how, because, I felt like the episode was progressing, progressing, progressing. And then you get to a certain part, and all of a sudden she's on the Disney lot. And I'm like, what the heck? The fourth wall breaks. They blew up the fourth wall. It's like the all walls were destroyed. It wasn't just a break, it was destruction of all walls was destroyed. She went into the writer's room, and if you watch She-Hulk with the captions on, once the writers start talking about Kevin, they immediately put Kevin in all caps with periods in between. And so I'm like, wait a minute, are they trying to say Kevin Feige's a robot? Are they really trying to say this nigga's a robot? And sure enough, she goes in and Kevin's a robot like Vicky from what's that from Wally. He's pretty much Vicky from Wally. And I was like, oh my goodness. Not They didn't Deadpool She-Hulk because it's not well, I mean, she was already kind of like Deadpool because she already broke the fourth wall. But the thing about it is she walked out onto the lodge, she walked into the writer's room, and she confronted them about how the story was going and was like, I don't like how you're writing my finale. I I wanted to change. And she was forced them to change the finale. And it felt like they wrote themselves into a corner and then yada yada their way out. Like, it was interesting how they did it, but it felt like they, yeah, because when she left Kevin's office, everything was over, and you know ending was complete. So they seriously yada yada the ending, because you get there and it's like, oh, everything comes together. Then she goes to the writer's room. Then everything's over. So you see, there is no real fight. There is no real confrontation. It's just all yada yada into the ending. Yes, I always watch with the captions. I can't. I always have to watch with captions on. So when I saw that, I was like, are they trying to say Kevin Feige is a robot? And sure enough, he was a robot. So I was like, what is going on? Because I was like, I think, because like when they started talking about Kevin, I was like, I think, are they really going to show Kevin Feige? And then when they mentioned him, all caps with that, yeah, not a fan of the ending. It just they just sort of skipped they was like they skipped the ending. They skipped it. They skipped it. It was like she went to Kevin and said, I want this, I want that, I want this. And when she went back, the ending was over. It was over. They were taking everybody away. And then Bruce came out and was like, hey, yo, I got a kid. What? What? Was Well, are we saying that Hulk smashed when he was on Sakaar? Is that what we're saying? Oh my goodness, this is crazy. So yeah, yeah, I liked She-Hulk as a show overall. The episode was okay. You get to that ending and it sort of fell apart for me. It fell apart at the end. It was good. Okay. It was it was good until the end. It was good until the end. It was I promise you, it was good until the end. The ending came and it was like the ending came and then it was like what? But it was literally the very end of the last episode where it fell apart. But everything up until that was good. Ob- Obviously, had to be an alien. So he has the alien baby. The baby was already hulked out. So I have so many questions. I have so many questions. So does the baby go from being a Hulk to like a human slash alien form? Is it permanently in Hulk form? What's up with his Hulk baby? I just, is there another form for this baby, or is the Hulk form his only form? Because obviously he was the Hulk when he had this baby, because he was only the Hulk on Sakaar. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Hulk is the only Avenger. Well, yeah, Hulk is the only Avenger who hasn't had a movie. I think he needs a movie to explain that baby. We need, like, he went to Sakaar and came back with like we need another. Well, you know what? That's a lie. Hulk had his own movie. It was just not that Hulk. It was a different Hulk. It was Edward Norton Hulk. So I guess they were like, Hulk had his own movie. It was just a different dude. But let's just say everybody but Natasha and Hulk had a trilogy. Like Thor got 4 movies, but Natasha got one and Hulk got one. I'm like, y'all could give him some more movies and use one to explain that baby. Like seriously, but oh my goodness, that was crazy. Um, I like to wrap up with um with Daredevil being with the family. That was kind of cute. Yeah, I think we're done with the original Avengers. The original Avengers movies are pretty much like Thor got himself a fourth movie because the Taika Waititi one was so good. They were like, we might as well do another. That's why he got another one. But I think we're pretty much done with the original Avengers. Um, Black Widow got a movie because they were like, it's kind of crazy that, well, she should just get one just because because Hawkeye got a series. So I think we're pretty much done with the original Avengers, and then these phases, it's like we're moving on to the new Avengers. It's a completely, so there's no more movies for the originals. I mean, this is my opinion. I don't even watch the what do they call those things? Those expos that I don't even watch the expos. Uh Hulk just not complicated enough for a movie anymore. I think if they would have done a movie with him on Sakaar before before Thor. If they could do like a prequel movie um to Thor Ragnarok and show his time on Sakaar, that would be a complicated movie. It would be, sort of an in-betweener type of movie, like a flashback in between type of movie. That would be interesting to see what his time would be like. And again, explain that baby. But his time since, his present time, yeah, no. But his time on Sakaar, I think that would be interesting to see. Um, I think that that would be interesting to see what happened to him and how did the Hulk. I just want to see how the Hulk. I want to see his Mac game. How? Like seriously, how did he Mac on somebody? Because he was straight. He was the Hulk for like what, 2 whole years straight? I want to see the Hulk who didn't even speak in complete sentences. I want to see him Mac on somebody and get this person pregnant. I just need to see this. Yeah. Yeah. The new Captain America movie is part of the new Avengers with Anthony Mackie. And I'm excited for that. Black Captain America. I watched the series, got me pumped up for that. Hulk got game. Hulk got game. That was. I'm just trying to. I'm just trying. I got questions. I got mad questions. With just charisma alone. So we're saying Hulk pulled Black Widow and not Bruce. So we're saying it was the Hulk. Okay. Okay. I would have. You know what? I can see it. They love to have that whole. Women love to have that whole "I can tame the monster inside" type deal, and I could see her being attracted to the Hulk in that way. So, you know, so I could definitely see her. I can definitely. Yeah, she made up the lullaby. Bruce by himself is not pulling the Black Widow. Yes. Well, she likes powerful men, but she didn't, because I would say Tony Stark would fit the bill as powerful, and she didn't like him. So I guess that fits the bill with he needed something a little bit more than just being, smart and powerful. So yeah, he's Bruce Banner. He's the Hulk. So yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting. Okay. So to the show that nearly got me red letter on YouTube, House of the Dragon. Because I tried to call Rhaenys a bad B in my description, but they put up all red letters letting me know that I couldn't put that in my description. So I had to take it down. So I could not describe Rhaenys in that way, even though I gotta tell you, when I watched her on House of the Dragon come up they were in the set of the, what do you call that? The set, whatever, the place where they do, I think it's called the set of the Baylor or something like that. Come up in that dragon and confront those people and have her dragon breathe in their face and make them think that the dragon was going to take them all out. When she flew off on her dragon, I sat up and I applauded. My neighbors probably thought I was crazy because I applauded. I was like, yes, best part of the show. Best part of the show. uh, oh, yes. I think everybody wanted her to say Dracarys so bad. But everybody also knew if she said Dracarys, there is no war. There is no episode 10 if she said Dracarys. There's no episode 10. Show is over. So um, they needed her to make the decision to not to make the decision to leave conflict in the show. It's really a because reasons, and I hate when people do things because reasons. Because in real life, she would have lit them up. She would have lit all of them up. They held her hostage, and they would have killed her in real life. There's absolutely no way she's getting out alive. She would have burnt them up with her dragon. For real. So, but there was so much going on. There was so much going on this episode. Um, everything. uh, there's like, okay, so from the beginning, from Sir Kristen Cole killing that poor pitiful old man, because Sir Kristen Cole is just, I ain't never seen somebody so bitter over a one night stand. Like, the girl was 15 years old. How old was she? The woman is married with like 10 children, and he is still bitter over a one night stand they had 15, 20 years ago. Like, boo, get over it. Get over it. It's done. He's still mad. He is still mad. He gonna stay mad for the rest of his life over one night. Killed that poor old man because he's still bitter. And but I liked how the Lord Commander, you know, took off his laid down his sword and took off his cloak and was like, I'm the commander of the King's Guard. And until he's like, I take my commandments from the king. Until there is a king, I am gone. I am so gone. Oh man. Oh my goodness. Yeah, she saved him. Yeah, when she saved him, I just knew it was just, here is something. And I only feel this way about you know, fictional people. When she stopped him from killing himself, I was sad because I was like, this is not going to be a good thing for nobody. He really should have just gone and killed himself, because this is not going to this is not going to be good for nobody. And boy, was I right. Boy, was I right. But yes, when the queen who started all this, who got Chris, what's his name? Kristen Cole on her, Sir Kristen Cole on her side, and started all this fight against Rhaenyra and all this, because Rhaenyra, was because she was impure and did impure things, and you letting this dude get off on your feet so he can go and kill people for you. Like, really? Really? That's better. That's better. That's better. Come on. It's so messy. There are so many things going on. Yes. So her and the whole Laris and her the feet thing, which was very just creepy and disgusting. And then there was the fight for them going after her father, and her both going after Aegon. And he sent the twins, and she sent Sir Kristen Cole. And I couldn't keep up with who was who in the twins. I couldn't figure out which one was which, because they both looked alike. One was Eric, one was Arik. And I'm like, am I supposed to know which one is which of these twins? I couldn't keep up. All I know was one was like this is supposed to be our king. And I'm like, yes, somebody think about, is this person worthy of being the king? Because he ain't. And think about who your queen is going to be. The girl going around talking to rocks and scorpions and shit. You really think she's worth being a queen? I don't. Like, these people should not be king and queen. They need help. These kids need help. An episode without Rhaenyra, it feels very, because Game of Thrones used to do that. Game of Thrones would do, especially with the next to the last episode, they would just sort of focus on one thing, and it would just and it would cut out a lot of the other characters and just be focused on, and it would, a lot of times it would be battles. So it'll be a huge battle between one house or the other house, or you have the Battle of Blackwater, the Battle of Winterfell, just these huge battles that they have, and it would just be the whole entire episode would just be this one thing. You saw no one else in Westeros, so they were pretty much taking that same tack. And after a while, I realized that was what this was going to be. So it was this whole thing. There really was no reason to show her, because unless you were going to show her finding out that they were doing this against her, there was no reason to show her, because she's just oblivious. She's oblivious to what they're doing against her. She's oblivious to her father even being dead. So unless she herself was acting against them, which she wasn't. She wasn't acting against them. She left in good faith, thinking she was going to come back and have a good relationship with Alicent. So there was no reason to show her until she finds out that they were working against her. So there was actually no reason to show her while they were doing all this, you know, moving and shaking. Who are those twins? The twins were on the king's. They were on the king's guard. It's the Eric and Arik, the twins, and the Lord Hand had sent them out to get Aegon and bring him back. So the twins were supposed to bring him back to the Lord Hand, and Kristen Cole and Aemon was supposed to bring him back to the mother. So whomever got Aegon first, they would be the one to influence him. So if the Hand got Aegon first, then he would be like, okay, we're going to kill Rhaenyra. And since she got him first, they're like, no, we're not going to kill her. We're going to send her terms saying you need to surrender and blah, 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 blah. She wanted to move forward with making her son the king without killing Rhaenyra because she wanted to honor her dead husband because she knew her dead husband loved his daughter and blah, 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 blah. So she did not want to. Basically a filler episode. I don't know. It's very interesting. But definitely some parts definitely feel like filler, like the fight, the search for Aegon definitely felt like was something that went on a very long time. That went on a long time. Them showing them just there was a lot of scenes of them just showing people filling the streets and with people and things you didn't understand. I guess in hindsight, because there was this one scene where you just saw a bunch of servants walking, and I didn't understand what that was. You saw Larys sort of in the shadows, and I didn't get what that scene was for. But in hindsight, that scene was him realizing that the queen's handmaiden or whatever was the spy who was working with the white worm or whatnot. So I guess that's what that scene was for. But I also don't understand why they made a big deal out of the white worm if they were just going to kill her in one episode. It's like they made a big deal out of her and they killed her in one episode. So that sort of felt like missed opportunities. But I don't know. But yeah. I guess it does feel this episode probably could have been shorter. It probably could have been shorter, but it had to have been the same old 54 minutes, however long it usually is. My thoughts on. Okay. They invested too much in the character. You don't think she's dead yet? Okay. I'm hoping she's not dead yet because it would just be a waste. It would be a waste if she's dead. Because they didn't show her dead. They just showed her house on fire. So it's very that means nothing. Anybody can escape a house fire. Um, it's just, I guess we're supposed to believe that Laris is thorough because the last house fire he had was his own, where he killed his brother and his father. So, and that took out his targets. But of course, that was shown. Whereas this one, we just saw the fire and the person walking away. We did not see her in the fire. We did not see her dying in the fire, unlike his father and his brother. We saw them dying in the fire. So she could still be alive. So she is crafty. She's crafty, and unlike and people like her who have to live by their wits, they don't die too easy. They don't die too easy. She definitely can see something coming a lot faster than somebody than some lord in a household could, and she can get out of there. I mean, if they have spies everywhere, her spies could have seen something and could have told her. So he can't possibly know every single spy that she has. He thinks by killing her he can take out all the spies, but you have to kill her first. And to get to her, you have to get to her without her spies knowing. So, yeah, seems kind of difficult. Yeah, so it was interesting. Allison is definitely a hypocrite, big old foot fetish hypocrite. um, and can't stand her father, can't stand Sir Christian Cole, just the whole lot of them. They really all could have. Oh, it would have been so great if Rhaenys she could have barbecued the whole lot of them. The only person who wouldn't have deserved it was the Aegon's sister slash wife. You know, she wouldn't have deserved it. She's just she ain't right in the head. She didn't deserve to die. But the rest of them, especially Aemon, yeah, they all deserved to. The rest of them on that day has deserved to die. So she could have barbecued them, and this would have been over, and it would have been a great episode. But I like what she did because she let them know, I could have killed you, and you'd all be gone. Could have killed you. Oh, I think I think everyone will be celebrating his death. It would be like when Tywin died. It would be like when Tywin died. Pretty much just like when Tywin died. We're all going to celebrate his death. He's pretty much Tywin reborn. It's Tywin and Cersei all over again. Aemon is growing in on you. Boo. I say boo to that. I hate him. I hate him so much. I don't like him. But it looks like from the preview I saw, it looks like Daemon is going to try to steal Vhagar back. That's what it looks like because he's in some dragon. He's in some dragon pit with some dragon, trying to tame some dragon, I feel like he's trying to, like, what else could he be doing but trying to steal Vhagar back? This is just me guessing. I could be wrong, but this is what I'm guessing. I'm guessing Daemon is going to try to steal that dragon back. And if he do, they have no advantages. Yes, I also thought that. Question his authority, and also they're going to question their safety. I mean, if I'm with them, I'm going to feel safer with the people who have dragons and who can, this family. They're definitely the weaker part of the family. The stronger part of the family are all at Dragonstone, and they know this. They know this. They know who Daemon is. They know who Rhaenyra is, and they know that these are the stronger dragon riders. And I think they will feel it. I think they will feel like, because at the beginning when they first announced it that he was going to be king, they were like, them people were murmuring and complaining. They were not on board. Yeah, he pumped his hand a couple of times, and he riled up the crowd a little bit, but they weren't immediately on board. They weren't immediately with the change. And just like they did a fickle turn to be with him, they can do a fickle turn to be against him, because that's how fickle the people are. Oh, come on. Aemon versus Daemon? Daemon would cut his head off. Aemon is no threat to Daemon. Aemon can't. No. Daemon is no match for Daemon. No. I saw today on Twitter, somebody called, no, it was Facebook, whatever. Somebody called Aemon a great value Daemon. It's like, I am so tired of this great value Daemon.
Alert from low battery.
Oh no. Oh, my computer's about to die. Hold on. I gotta get my cord. Okay. All right. But yeah. They call Aemon a great value Daemon. That was hilarious because it's so true. I hope not. I really don't want to say. I'd really rather see them. I'd really rather see them regain the throne and just be battling it out throughout season 2. I'd rather see them battle the High Towers, like have the High Towers try to regain some sort of whatever throughout the seasons. But I don't want to see them continue to try to fight to get the position that was rightfully theirs throughout season 2. That's not. No. Next episode is the finale. Next episode is the last one. So that's why this episode was all just, this is why they focus on just the people at the keep. So then the next episode is just going to be this, the finale, big all out fight, big all out war. It's going to be a big all out thing. I don't know if someone said they hope that the finale is 2 hours long. I hope not. But it's probably definitely going to be maybe a little bit. It's definitely going to stretch as long as possible. And it's going to be packed. It's going to be packed to the gills with action, because Rhaenys is definitely flying straight from King's Landing to Dragonstone to tell them immediately what's going on. And that's how they're going to find out what's going on from Rhaenys. So, and that's what's going to get them on the move. So they're going to immediately be, be on the move and be ready to fight. Ooh, about Netflix and Disney Plus having. Disney Plus have ads? I didn't know Disney Plus have ads too. Dang, everybody have ads. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm gonna have to look into that. Goodness. HBO has ads, Netflix has ads, Disney Plus has ads, Hulu has ads. Who's the one who started it off? Who let them know you can have ads, you can charge them and still make them watch ads. Okay. I'll definitely look into that. I'll definitely look into the whole Disney, because Disney Plus did go up on their prices. I guess they figured they couldn't keep that $6.99 forever. And Netflix was just losing people in droves. They had to do something to hold on to people. Yeah, so but yeah, okay, I'm gonna look into that and see. If not this week, then maybe next week. We'll see. It depends on how much I find out this week about those things. Man, all of them having ads. Oh my goodness, this is just crazy. But yeah, but that's it. Next week is the finale. So She-Hulk has had her finale. So She-Hulk is over. And next week is House of the Dragon finale. So that's going to be something. Daemon and Rhaenyra are finally going to come together and have this fight it out with the Hightowers. It's going to be the Greens versus the Blacks. And I'm definitely for the Blacks. So I will see you next week. We'll talk about the finale for sure, for sure.